What's going on? What's going on? So, a lot of people out here suffering, man. I mean, a lot of people. I don't think people really realize when it come down to their jobs, when it come down to their careers, they feel very suppressed. They feel like they're not going anywhere. They're just going in the hamster wheel, and they're not getting the progress or the results that they desire to get. Well, I have a couple of theories. I'm not going to speak on all the theories in this one video, but I'm going to speak on one that's very, very particular to a great deal of the people that I know. And hopefully this can shed a little bit of light and help people out, as far as just outlook is concerned. One of the biggest things that I see from a lot of people, a lot of good, qualified, very skilled individuals, is that they have a tendency to want and desire to get to the top of the food chain and whatever it is that they're doing. But there's one Achilles heel that majority of these people have that they cannot seem to overcome. And that's that bad case of what I don't want to do. What is that thing that I'm talking about? That bad case of what I don't want to do is where when you have a conversation with somebody and you peel a few layers back from the conversation, you come to the realization that a great deal of where they're lacking at is because there's something specific that they don't want to do. There's a certain part of, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it this way. There's always some barrier, some self-perpetuated barrier that's preventing them from getting and achieving the result that they said that they want. And I'm not one to tell anybody what to do or how to accomplish their dreams, but I can tell you that there's a recurring common thing that happens with people that causes them to not be successful. And that recurring common thing is when you tell me what you don't want to do or what you're not willing to do to accomplish the dream that you want, I'm inclined to believe there it is. That's the missing link. That's the one piece that you are currently missing that's preventing you from getting the results that you desire. Every time that, and I'll give an example of this, it's just like I tell people that when it comes down to promotions, one of the big things about getting a promotion is not always about what skills you possess. A lot of times it's about your ability to network. It's about your ability to impress upon the people who make the decisions. One of the things about a lot of settings, a lot of corporate settings that people fail to realize is that when you're great at what you do, people oftentimes want to keep you where you are because they don't want to take the time to try to replace you from where you are. However, networking, making yourself visible, rubbing elbows, reaching out for mentorship, these are usually the ways that people are able to climb the ladder with ease. It's not based off of you just being good. There's a lot of people who are great at what they do, but that's all. They're great at what they do. They don't have great people skills. They don't have a great ability to impress upon people. They don't have the great leadership ability they think they do. And sometimes people misconstrue the fact that just because they can do something well and they can do it at a high level, that translates into leadership ability. It doesn't. It translates into you being a great doer. But to be in a leadership position, you need to be a great teacher, a great motivator, a great thinker, somebody who can think quickly on their feet and make decisions quickly and effectively and oversee the process of it getting done. So a lot of the time, what happens with many people is, oh, I don't want to network. Oh, I don't want to talk to these people. I should just be able to get what I want through the merit. Or they consistently update their resume with all the things that they can do, but they never volunteer for any leadership positions. They never volunteer to try things, to do things that would help them get into a position or get seen. They don't want to go to the networking events. They just want to put in the application. They just hope that their merit alone is going to get it done, and that's just not the way that it works, especially nowadays. I feel as if a lot of people are selling themselves short. I feel like a lot of the time what people make this huge mistake is that they'll tell themselves something and they'll hold on to this thing as if it's somehow indicative of the truth, when in all reality, it couldn't be further from the truth. So what I will definitely say for sure is, if you want to get ahead, a good idea is to start selling yourself. Start putting yourself out there. Start reviewing those, oh, I don't want to do's, and start recalibrating your position, because I can guarantee most people's success is on the other side of what they don't want to do. When you say where your flags are, that's usually where the other line or the other side of that line is. And as sorry as it is that everything is not based off of merit, the right people have to see. The right people have to know. The people who are in positions to make the decisions have to be able to make the decisions. And if you don't make yourself visible to the people who make the decisions, don't expect them to just assume that you're the right person for the job. It never happens like that. It won't work like that. It'll never be that way. So until we get to a place to where we start understanding that it's more than just being good that's going to get you where you need to go. It's more than just being serviceable. That when you're trying to move up the ladder, you have to look at things as the other factors. You have to look at your appeal on people. You have to look at your impression that you make on the decision makers, as well as the people who will be working. Are you already a leader in your current position? Do people look to you as a leader in your current position? Probably not. Probably not. Beforehand, you may look at a situation and say, okay, this is what I bring to the table. If you say what you bring to the table and you can only point reference of things that you do and not point reference of things that you have empowered others to do, you're probably not ready for leadership. Case in point. You're probably not ready. And if anything else, I would say, really look down at things and put your goals on paper. I'm not talking about an electronic device where things will get lost. Put it on paper and really evaluate where you're trying to go. Seek out a mentor in the establishment or in the particular field that you want to go to, and start merging yourself into the lane where you can be properly mentored up close. And number 2, reserve your nose. Reserve your nose. Stop being so quick to say what you don't want to do, or what you shouldn't do, or what you don't feel like you should have to do, or what you feel like you're too good to do. And start giving yourself an honest effort, because that's usually the small bridge between doing just enough and exceeding. You have to look at yourself and say, am I blocking and am I in the way of my own success? Anyway, that's my time, guys. Hopefully this helps. I'll be back with part 2 of this installment at a later date. Peace.